Hi there, welcome to NPK Consultancy's Tax Fix. My name is Patricia Komani. It is always great to have you with us. We will be talking about tax affecting individuals today. I am riding solo, but like I said last time, the program remains the same. So let's get to it. The first question is, do I pay tax on my side hustle? The answer to that is yes. Any income that you are generating in South Africa should be declared on your tax return, right? It might not necessarily result in you paying taxes, but you do need to declare it to SARS. So what I mean by that is you might find that based on the expenses that you've incurred, right, there is no taxes that you have to pay because you didn't make profit, you actually made a loss. So you don't have to pay any taxes. That is one. The second thing is you might find that that type of income that you're actually making is exempt for tax purposes. So you don't really have to pay taxes, but you do have to declare to SARS. And that is any type of side hustle, whether you are baking, whether you are doing things online, whether you are selling products, whether you are providing services, whatever it is, you do need to declare that income to SARS. The only time that you don't have to declare that income, and this part that I'm about to mention applies to every other question that I'm going to ask apart from the international related questions. The only time that you will not declare to SARS is if your total income, right, is not more than 95,000 Rand, 750. And when I say total income, I mean your side hustle plus your salary plus your rental income plus, right? That total should not be more than 95,750 Rand. That is the only time that you do not then have to declare to SARS. But if your total income is above that, then you do have to declare to SARS when it comes to your side hustle. Okay? The second question is, what happens if I get paid from YouTube, Instagram, Facebook? Do I need to declare that to SARS? Yes, you do. So once again, the principle is any income that you have generated, if you are a South African taxpayer, you do need to declare to SARS. If it happens that you're not a taxpayer and you are earning more than the 95,750 Rand that I've mentioned, then you do need to register as a taxpayer, right? So when you get the income from YouTube, Facebook, or whichever social platform, just make sure that when you do the declaration to SARS, also please do declare the expenses that are related to that. What I mean by that is when you prepare the video, right, that you post on your social platforms, that video, you're using data, that's an expense. You need to declare that, right? You might have hired some people, especially if it's YouTube and you have a podcast, that need to make sure that your podcast looks exquisite, right? Exquisite hair. Then you need to declare those expenses, right? I don't know what other expenses that you have incurred for that specific product that you are now posting on social platforms. Declare those expenses, because when you declare those expenses, it reduces your profit. When it reduces your profit, it reduces the amount of tax that you have to pay, because you do not want to find yourself in a position when you are paying more taxes than what you should. And the next question will be, I love this question because I get this question a lot, which is, Patricia, I have a property, right? I'm using it for Airbnb, or I just have one tenant. However, I'm not making profit from it. Do I need to declare that to SARS? The answer is yes. You do need to declare that to SARS, right? But once again, the expenses, you also need to declare them, which then helps in reducing the profit. The issue is not whether you are paying taxes or not. The issue is, have you generated income? If your answer is yes, is the total income for the whole year that you've generated more than 95,750 Rand for this year, and your answer is yes, then you do need to declare the income, right? Whether you're going to pay tax or not depends on the expenses that affect your income. I think I'm going to do one more which then is freelancing. I'm a freelancer. How do I go about it? So as a freelancer, you are automatically a provisional taxpayer, right? And the reason why you're a provisional taxpayer, it is to assist you in paying the taxes more than once, to create the ability of the cash flow for you, and as well, of course, for the cash flow for SARS. So what does that mean? That means that you submit tax returns 3 times in a year instead of once, right? And in those 3 times a year, depending on your calculation, you might end up paying taxes. But it's important to make sure that you do have your taxes in order. If you're a freelancer, I'll always advise freelancers, have the same systems in place you would have if you actually registered the company. So what do I mean by that? Have proper accounting structures in place where you are able to record what you need to record, because then it simplifies things for you. Then you know what is the income that is coming in, the income that is going out. Because remember also, if you're a freelancer, you might find yourself in a position where you need to register as a VAT vendor, depending how much income you're actually making. So just have all the recording in place. But I think the moral of this video, if I have to summarize, regardless of the questions that we've asked, is you do have to declare your you do have to declare your income, right? If it's more than 95,750 rand, you do have to declare it, regardless of whether you're considering it as remuneration, rental, side hustle, freelancing, whatever form that you want to call it, interest, passive income. You have to declare it, right? The second thing is, just because you've declared your income does not necessarily mean that you will automatically pay taxes. Whether you pay taxes or not depend on the expenses that are deductible, and whether you have also declared that on your calculation or not, right? So you're declaring your income, you're declaring your expenses. Based on that, you might pay taxes, you might not pay taxes, right? If you are a freelancer, you have more than one tax return that you need to submit. You have 3 tax returns that you need to submit, which are the 2 provisional tax returns and the income tax return. And in all those 3 tax returns, you might find yourself in the position of paying taxes. So just make sure that you've got all your records in order, right? Because remember, if your records are not in order, so I mean that if you don't have the expenses in order, you might find yourself paying taxes that you don't have to. And we don't want to pay taxes that we don't have to. We can utilize that money somewhere else. I always say, when you pay penalties, you are donating to SARS money that they don't need. So when you are paying taxes that you don't have to, simply because you did not keep records in order and in place, you are giving SARS money that they don't need. So let's just have all of those things in order to make sure that we are compliant. We know what is happening with our income, our funds, but we're also not paying extra just simply because we didn't do the necessary stuff to make sure that everything is in order. So that's all for today, but please do put your comments below. Ask me the questions that you need. Consider this as a free consultation. Ask your questions and we'll create another video to answer those questions. But yeah, until next time, it's been great. Bye for now.